let's talk about Armored Core 6. Tom is currently working on the console head to head, so he's going to be looking at the Xbox Series X, the S, the PlayStation 5, and also because it seems to increase performance, running the PlayStation 4 Pro app on the PlayStation 5. So there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff there. I look forward to that. But John, you've been playing the game on PC because we got a PC key as well. It's not currently in Tom's coverage plans, but you kind of got to talk about this.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight this for a couple reasons. I mean, first, the game itself is phenomenal. I was honestly gobsmacked by it. I love Armored Core games. I've been playing them since the PS1 era, but I was surprised at how well they managed it. Like the control is so good in this game. It feels amazing to play it. And the level design, the map layouts, like the sense of scale and depth to the world is unbelievable looking. Like it's just wow, really amazing. But it's the technical side of the PC version specifically which really took me by surprise, because it's no secret From Software's PC versions haven't been very good, right? You don't get ultra wide support. They're usually capped at 60 frames per second, or 30 as it was with the original Dark Souls. And there's just lots of other weird issues that make it feel very much like this is just a console game poorly adapted to the PC. Not so with Armored Core 6. So right away you can run at high frame rates. So I'm playing at 120 frames per second. Feels amazing. It has full beautiful HDR support on the PC. The introduction, which is a video, is extremely high res, like full 4K, and properly paced. It's probably the best FMV playback I've seen in a PC game like ever. Which, small thing, but it's something to note. That's really cool. The loading times are really quick. The options menu it's not amazing, but it has enough features in there and enough tweakables that allow you to push it beyond the console spec. The only real disappointment there is that the ray tracing feature only applies to the garage, which I'm a little surprised they didn't allow you to use that in the game on PC as well. But, you know, even still, the game looks great. There's also there's no stutter, there's no hiccups. It's just full flat out 120 frames per second, perfectly fluid gameplay. Not a single issue anywhere in there. It is flawless on my PC, at least. I can't speak for lower end systems. I don't know what it's like, but this is the best PC experience I've had all year in terms of just a game working. I literally started the game the first time, went to the main menu, turned everything to max because why not? Hit new game, and that's it. It just worked. It's perfect. And that's become so rare in PC games these days, right? Like you just don't really see this very often. And yeah, it's maybe not cutting edge visuals, though I think visually speaking, it's absolutely beautiful, given that, it's just their art direction is so good. But they also introduced SSR, which I thought was interesting, which I don't believe they've had in the past. Though using it on, puddles and such in water isn't always the best move. It can be a little distracting, but it's better than just a bunch of low res cube maps. I'll say that much. And I guess the biggest thing really is the biggest surprise is the controls, right? Because I'm playing it with mouse and keyboard, and that is not the way you want it to play From Software's prior games. But in this case, the mouse and keyboard control is so precise and responsive and good. I think the game plays better that way. It really allows you to pinpoint your targets and just absolutely, nail it. And you need to do it because this game is hard, like From's other recent games, and that actually turned out to be like the super secret sauce that makes this amazing, because it's a mech game where you're building your mech out, or your AC as it's called, with lots of parts, and you need to spec your AC for different missions based on the requirements of that mission. And because it's challenging enough, you can't just spam your way through it or not engage with the systems. The game basically demands that you engage with its systems, which itself is very rewarding, and it teaches you how to use these different systems, and you have to learn them. And I found that so remarkably satisfying. Like even the first boss took me just a few tries, which took me by surprise. It happens in the first 15 minutes of the game. Once you get it, you got it, but you really need to use all your options available and understand how the game plays. And once you get that, it's mind meltingly good. Like even at this point, after playing for some hours, I expect that this game is going to be high up on my game of the year list if it continues at this quality, because holy crap.
Wow.
Armored Core 6, ladies and gentlemen, it's great, and I'm surprised it's not getting even more attention. I mean, I know it doesn't have the fantasy themes that people love from the Souls games, but you can actually, it really is this beautiful fusion of the Souls like franchise with Armored Core. You really feel it in the mission design, like just that first moment where you're like, you start in this like weird floating garage thing. It's like this huge like hangar, but then you walk out on this edge of this platform and you look out and there's a gigantic mountain range, and they're like, that city far in the distance, that's where your target is. And then you actually like jet out towards it, and you're flying through the sky. There's a huge floating like mechanical fortress like hanging above you in the sky, and there's all these mountains everywhere and a city on the ground, and just like the whole design of the scene was breathtaking. And it's just wow. And it's so much destructible stuff too, because you're a giant mech, right? That happens.
Well, obviously, we'd need to see how the game plays out on lower end hardware, because you're looking at a 1200K and 4090. But this is, potentially where a situation where we're actually seeing a return for owning a powerful PC. Whereas, we've played so many PC games this year where, well, maybe we should just stick to the console version because it's overall more solid or consistent.
Elden Ring was like that.
It
was a mess.
Absolutely. And that's the situation seemingly with Armored Core on consoles, where it has a similar performance profile to Elden Ring. So this is an example where you can power past it at launch without needing to wait for patches, seemingly.
I really wish I knew what was going on with From sometimes, like that 59, 58 FPS Nomad's Land that they really love on consoles at times. It's so weird.
I'll tell you what, maybe, Occam's razor possibly here, which is that they saw that they sold a huge amount of Elden Ring on PC and decided they needed possibly to take the platform a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Give it a bit more thought. It looked as though it had a lot of low-hanging fruit scenarios for improving performance based on, what we saw at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you'd think that maybe that's the case, but I'm glad you had a great time with that, John.
Yeah, and I'm glad that From finally got a PC version that's great to play.